I look back on those 3 months, like, that was, like, the most locked in I've ever been in my life, right? It didn't come to you in a state where I was like, I'm fucking badly burnt out. I can't do anything right. I can't get out of bed in the morning." It wasn't like that. It was more,
Mm.
I just want the knowledge in the systems to be able to, um, essentially optimize my health long term, right? All these people talking about biohacking and, like, "You need to do
Yeah.
this, you need to do that, you need to do that." It's such
Those
an
long
information
routines
overload.
and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, such an information overload, and then, like, you try one thing, like, "Oh, that's good," and then, like, you don't do it again, you don't stay consistent at all, whereas then it's like, no, like, I just need one routine that's, like, custom to me in the life that I wanna live, in the life that I live now, that I can just stick to forever, and also the knowledge, like, you've educated me so much on certain things, certain problems, like, the knowledge of, "Okay, if this comes up, here's what you do here. If this comes up, here's what you do here," right? And how to actually solve those minor things that get
Mm.
in the way of actually building the business and neglecting your health and things
Mm.
like that.
All right, Zach. Welcome, bro.
Thank you, man. Looking forward to it.
Yes, sir. So go ahead and introduce yourself for the people watching. Just a little bit
Yeah,
about who
so
you are, what you do for work, and
yeah.
everything.
So my name's Zach. I run a business. I've been running the business for the last 9 months. I'm 20 years old now, and yeah, I run a business where I help young service providers essentially get more clients, and we have a community for that, essentially connecting young service providers, helping them find their people, but also giving them the right systems to actually sign high paying clients, because that's a struggle that I went through for years, and that's yeah something that I'm passionate about and something that I'm building at the moment. And yeah, because I'm 20 years old, I've been fit for all of my life, right? I'm a kickboxer. I had my first fight a few months ago when I was working with you, and something that I'm going to continue doing. I also like the gym, play football, things like that as well. So, um, yeah, outside the business, I'm quite an active person as well. So yeah,
Nice.
it's a little bit about myself.
Nice, nice. And I think the way we came in contact was I was honestly just like connecting with more people, like prospecting. And then I found one of your
Yeah,
videos. I was like, this is actually like a sick video. It was, I don't
yeah,
know if you remember which video it was, but I genuinely just messaged you like,
remember.
hey bro, like this video is fucking sick. And then
Yeah,
and then it was something about like speaking about Instagram and like real life behind the
yeah,
camera and whatever. And I was like, yeah, this guy's cool. And I think we just connected, spoke a little bit about health. You gave me some value. And then
yeah,
I DM'd you just because you were watching my story. And then you
yeah,
told me that you were pretty much just interested in like health and maximizing your performance. And I
yeah,
relate to it a lot. And the people watching right now might as well. Because there is kind of two kinds of people that I work with and that I guess my content attracts. One
yeah,
is like the sort of young entrepreneur like yourself who they don't have serious underlying health issues. They're not massively overweight. They've been
yeah,
training. They know how to focus, that kind of thing, but they just want to optimize because like they understand
yeah,
how like health is a massive. It's massively tied to your performance. Obviously, there's mindset, but
100%.
health is a massive thing. So Zach came to me as one of those people who just wanted to like really further optimize.
Yeah,
Um, and I respect that a lot. I fully understand it because that's why I got into it. Obviously,
yeah,
I became a biohacking nerd, and I did it for me for my own performance. Um, and yeah, why don't you tell people a little bit about why that is? Like, why did you like? What is your mindset with
yeah.
performance? Like, why did you want to work with me?
Yeah, I think it's a few things, but I think the main reason is like long term, right? Obviously, I'm young and I'm going to be in the business game for I know a lot longer, right? And I've always been into health, right? I've always been like started going to the gym when I was 16. I loved it and things like that. And then when I started business, and obviously I didn't go to uni, get a job or anything like that, I found myself sort of like neglecting my health just a little bit because I was so attached to building a business, making money, etc. And along the way, I kind of lost it, kind of like my health routines and things like that. And for me, it was more just long term, like having the knowledge and the systems and the resources to actually know how to optimize my health.
Hmm.
I didn't come to you in a state where I was like, I'm fucking badly burnt out. I can't do anything right. I can't get out of bed in the morning. It wasn't like that. It was more,
Hmm.
I just want the knowledge in the systems to be able to um essentially optimize my health long term, right? Um that was mainly it. I just wanted, yeah, like I said, the knowledge in the systems to be able to like optimize my health long term.
Hmm.
Whereas like in 3 to 5 years, still be able to, okay, I've got this problem, I know how to solve it, right? I'm not getting any sleep, I know how to solve it. Um, my diet's off, I know exactly what I need to do, right? And I think in terms of like what you do, that was really attractive for me because yeah, like I've got a bunch of mates that are fitness coaches. They'll give you like a meal plan, a gym routine, etc. But for entrepreneurs, it's different, right? Because the average person can go to the gym, eat healthy, and things like that. Whereas, and for me, it was different because
Mm,
a I was training for a fight, so that is obviously different. But I was also running the business, and I feel like there's few fitness coaches out there that fully understand that
mm,
how to actually work around health, which is obviously I was following you for a few months before I actually started working with you, and like your stories in terms of like the personalized how to optimize your health as an entrepreneur so that you can
mm,
obviously be more productive, um, etc., etc. That's what
mm,
appealed to me most. So I was like, yeah, like this is something that I want to learn, right? Instead of like putting it off, letting myself get burnt out eventually. Because even though I wasn't burnt out at the time, if I would have carried on for years doing the same kind of not like just neglecting my health just a little bit, I would
mm,
have, eventually would have got that burnout and maybe been out of shape and things like that. So I really
mm,
just wanted to optimize and
mm.
learn more about how to optimize my health long term. Because like
Yeah,
now I'm in a position where if I know something's going wrong within my health and I'm getting this symptom, I know exactly how to solve it. And I mean, like you know this best, right? Is really just like the simple things. Um,
yeah,
it's really just doing the simple things, getting the basic amount of sleep, waking up at the same time, hydrating, good meal plan. It's really just the simple things, but the simple things are like kind of the hardest to stay consistent with and stick to. So,
yeah.
um, yeah, it was really just that.
Mm. Just voice cracked.
Yeah, same here. I voice cracked a bit ago as well. We'll try and
Yeah.
ignore that one.
Yeah, man. You explained perfectly how I would kind of think of it if I was myself a few years ago. And
Yeah.
what would you say is like the main, you kind of already answered the question, but what was like the main things you took away from working with me? And also like what do you think would be different from what we did compared to like a normal fitness or health coach online?
Okay, so like I'll answer the first one as like the main things that I took away. The main thing was like um I guess longevity systems, right? Which is like a bit of a mouthful, but in terms of like the actual systems, and when I say system, is literally just like routine, right?
Yeah.
Like the things that you stick to. That is really the main thing because that's something like since we started working together, I've been able to just stick with because it's simple and it's easy, right? I know exactly what I'm doing with my health, and I don't have
Mm,
to worry about it, right? I don't have to feel guilty about myself when I'm running my business, right? And it's like, okay, I didn't go to the gym today. It's like, no, this is just part of my routine. This is like simple and easy. That
mm,
was the main thing is like being able to stick to something consistently, right? Because especially online, like you see all these people talking about biohacking and like you need to do
yeah.
this, you need to do that, you need to do that. It's such
Just
an
long
information
routines
overload.
and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, it's such an information overload, and then like you try one thing, like oh that's good, and then like you don't do it again, you don't stay consistent at all. Whereas it's like no, like I just need one routine that's like custom to me in the life that I want to live, in the life that I live now, that I can just stick to forever. And also the knowledge, like you've educated me so much on certain things, certain problems, like the knowledge of okay, if this comes up, here's what you do here. If this comes up, here's what you do here, right? And how to actually solve those minor things that get
Mm,
in the way of actually building the business and neglecting your health and things
mm,
like that. Um, that was really the main things, yeah. Like the knowledge and again the longevity systems where you can actually just stick to that for essentially the rest of your life
yeah.
and knowing how to solve whatever problems when they come up, right?
Nice. Perfect. Yeah.
But what was the second question, by the way?
Um, yeah, you answered the first one very well. The second one was how I
Oh,
would be
like
different to
you
a fitness
versus
coach.
other
Yeah,
fitness
like a
coaches,
typical
yeah.
fitness coach.
Yeah, so like at the time, I definitely was considering having like a bit of accountability and support just through like some sort of fitness coach, right? And I think, I've got friends who are fitness coaches as well, right? And I think the difference is essentially just the business aspect.
Mm,
Like if I was to just get a normal fitness coach, right, it would have just been very generic advice, not really personalized to me because they don't understand my situation. Very few people do, right? Um, so I think the fact like how many times did we like jump on call and you essentially just sorted out my routine and I was like, fucking hell, like it's
Mm,
this is so much better, right?
yeah.
Just the little things like that, right? And how to optimize like being productive at work. That is really what I wanted, right? I didn't just want to get in like really good shape. Like, don't get me wrong, that's something that I want to do, but it's more just the little things
Yeah.
outside of that. It's like, okay, I might be in good shape, but my fucking test is low and I can't work longer than like 1 or 2 hours.
Mm,
Whereas in with you, it's more like, okay, here's how you optimize like the business productivity whilst also optimizing whatever other health
mm,
goals that you have. For me, that was like obviously performing really well in my kickboxing fight, looking good, and obviously being healthy enough to work long hours without feeling shit, essentially.
mm,
Um,
yeah.
that was really it. Like that's the key difference. And I think like any entrepreneur slash business owner, like if they just get a normal fitness coach, whereas like this fitness coach helps mums, dads, and they might also want to help you out as well, right?
Yeah.
It's completely different advice. Because again, few people understand that situation
Yeah.
of like routine, productivity, and all those things, which are just as important as health.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. I think entrepreneurs have a different life, different responsibilities, different mindset.
Yeah.
Like I think when I first started my business, I would be my offer wasn't super aligned where like I would have some clients that were like super busy entrepreneurs and I'd be like, do this, do that. And they wouldn't follow it. And I'm like, man, you just need to stick to it. But eventually, like I understood like, okay, this is what it's really like to be a business owner. You've got calls, you've got you have to overall you have to be a leader. You have to take care of
Yes.
people, you have to take calls and DMs and film content.
Yeah.
And then yeah, it's just understanding how to sort of like intertwine health around your business and
Yeah.
like as you said, scheduling is one thing people overlook. Like they don't think it's important in health, but it is like because you have a
Yeah.
life, you have responsibilities, you have shit to do during the day. So putting the inputs
100%.
in at certain times and me not like I didn't really want to go. I never really go into someone's schedule and flip things upside down. I say like,
Yeah.
okay, what are the things you have to attend? Okay, you have kickboxing at this time. You have your
Yeah.
meeting with your uh, business partner at this time. Cool. Let's kind of build things around that. So I'm not
Yeah.
flipping shit on its head. So I think
Yeah,
it's
that's yeah.
super
I think
important.
it's a good point as well because one thing that's like massive for me as well is like the stress, right? Obviously, as a business owner, you deal with a lot more stress than the average person. Like I jump on sales calls, people pour out their problems to me, right? And I see it as my responsibility to solve them. I jump on client calls, they have this problem, I see it as my responsibility to solve them, right? I also have my own responsibilities as, a 20-year-old lad, like trying to sort their life out and all the problems that come with that, right?
Mm,
Financials, everything, right? It's so much more stress than the average person who kind of just lives like a normal average life where don't get me wrong, everyone goes through stress, right? But I feel like as a business owner, obviously it's a lot more stress because you're not just responsible for you, especially at a young age. Like a lot of people my age, they just have their responsibilities where I have
mm,
responsibilities for clients, potential new clients, etc.
mm,
Like obviously building the business and making sure that that's stable and things like that, trying to look after my family and all that. It's just
mm.
a lot of stress, right? And when you don't know what to do with your health, it's like another added stressor. It's like, oh, this again. Like, I'm sure
Mm,
business owners and entrepreneurs relate where it's like, oh, fuck, I've got this as well. Like, you've got so much on your plate, and it's like, oh,
yeah.
yeah, and then there's this. And that's kind of the same thing with health. It's like, oh, yeah, my health, like, it's just been a mess. And like, oh, like next week I'll get back on it. And then you don't.
Yeah.
It's like another bit of stress, which like just adds to your self guilt and how you feel about yourself because it's like, I've got to do this, 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 and this. Oh, yeah, but what about the gym? What
Yeah.
about my meal plan? It's like another thing where you just like, it
Yeah.
gets put off, put off, put off, put off.
Yeah.
Um, that's like another thing as well. It just the overall stress, like when you're in a really good healthy state, first of all, like obviously you don't have to worry about your health, right? It's just
Yeah.
natural. Like once you get used to it for a few weeks, it's just natural. It's part of your routine. It's part of what you do.
Mm, yeah.
But then the other thing is like you just don't have to worry about your health, which is like a massive thing, right? Because everyone knows about how important it is to prioritize their health, but when you're not prioritizing it, the worry of like, oh, I need to do this, I need to do this, and then when they're seeing all this information online, it
Mm,
makes them feel even worse
worse. Yeah.
because it's like, oh, I need to do this, I need to do
I need
this,
to
I need to
jump in
jump.
an ice bath
Fucking-
every day. Oh fuck no.
I'm just gonna say
If I'm not
that,
doing an ice
like,
bath every day, then I'm not
yeah,
healthier.
it's like, yeah, I know. It's like if I'm not eating fucking steak and eggs 3 times a week for breakfast, it's like I'm doing something wrong. And
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, it just adds on to the stress even more, and that obviously affects your performance physically and business, mentally, everything, just how
yeah,
you feel about yourself, which I
yeah,
definitely relate to as well. So
yeah.
yeah,
Nice, nice, nice. What would you say was like most surprising about what we did together, about the work in terms of me helping you keep your health
I
optimized?
think how like the most surprising is like the data that you use to help me out, right? It's not just generic advice. Like everything that you use is from data, whether it's like the Whoop band, the gut health test that we did, the blood test that we did. It's all based off data, like real numbers. You can see it. And that just makes me like 100% obviously trust you and trust everything because it's not just you saying it, it's literally from like real raw data, right? I think
Mm,
that's the main thing. I think I don't know of many other coaches that actually use real health data to help people actually optimize their health, right?
mm.
It is kind of
Yeah,
like
yeah.
going that extra mile, right? It's not just a meal planning, scheduling. So, oh, it's based off like real data, which I think is, it really is like the main reason why I wanted to work with you. Is like actually it's based off of data, right? And you go the extra mile to make sure that that data is gathered, and then everything else you kind of sort out as well, right? In terms of like, okay, here's the data, here's what we should do from here. And then I just follow it. I was like, yeah, that makes sense. And then you also educate me about why we need to do this.
Mm.
Really just going the extra mile, to be honest,
Yeah,
is the main thing. Again, like making decisions and making plan of actions, etc., based off of real data, which is obviously 100% true, right? It's not
yeah.
just, oh, you should do this, you should do that. It's like, okay, like
Mm.
here's what the numbers say, here's the plan of
Mm.
action. Like, just follow this and
Yeah,
then work around it, right?
yeah,
I think
absolutely.
that's the
I think it's
most surprising thing.
yeah, I think it's super important. And if I were to not do that, I would feel weird about it. Like, why am I telling
Yeah,
this guy to eat this food when I don't even know if it's like actually that good for him? Or why am I telling him to
yeah,
sleep at this time when I don't even understand his responsibilities or even like your sleep chronotype, like if that's a
yeah,
relevant factor at the time. So yeah, I love using data. It just makes me
yeah,
feel confident. Like I'm like, this is how it is. This is what you should be doing. So yeah, I like that.
yeah. No, I
Um,
can tell as well. Yeah,
yeah,
it makes a big difference for sure.
yeah, 100%.
100%.
With so obviously like when we worked together, I feel like was pretty good timing because you were preparing for a fight and also like super locked in on business. So
Yeah,
how was that time where you were just insanely busy? Like you were training like an absolute athlete and also working,
yeah.
getting into flow sets. Like how was that? And also like how did
Mm.
having me in your corner help you with that?
Yeah, bro. I think the best way to look at it is like if I didn't have you in my corner, like things would have been a lot different, right? I might not have been able to make weight. I might not have been able to do this. I definitely, in terms of like the fighting, I mean, like there's no way I would have performed as well as I did, right? And actually, maybe not even won the fight. Like it was a massive contributor. I think without having you, in terms of like the impact, is I think it's best look at it is like if I didn't have you, things would have been a lot different. I would have been a lot more stressed. It's like okay, I'm in this business phase where like we're really trying to grow the business because I'm still in the startup phase as well. Like I'm not a fucking millionaire yet, right? So the business is like a massive stress. It's like, oh shit, I've got to fight in 2 months. I've got to prioritize
Mm,
that. I know I just would have been so stressed to the point where I would have just been in like this panic mode. And
mm,
nothing would have got done in the business or in the kickboxing because I'm just in this state of like there's fucking so much going on and just getting so
yeah,
overwhelmed. So I think just the
yeah,
overall support having you there is number one, but then also like the actual help that you gave me allowed me to prioritize these different things at certain times of day, and everything was smooth sailing and relatively easy, right? Is considering the situation, I think. Um,
yeah,
yeah, it was like I look back on those 3 months like that was like the most locked in I've ever been in my life, right? Like just the fight and then the business, like there was no wasted hours, there was no wasted
mm,
time. Um, and I mean, yeah, that was all down to working with you, I guess. Like everything was just so much easier because I just signed up to a fight because I was like, yeah, fuck it. Like, yeah, I've been training for a year. Like, let's do it. It's like a good bit of dad law or whatever. It was like a good little
yeah,
challenge for me, but I didn't really consider, especially like when I found out that I was going to be having a fight in like 2.5 months. Didn't really consider like, oh, wow, this is like serious, right? And then the
yeah.
business was also going through a period where it's like, okay, like we really want to grow it now. We've got like solid foundations. We've got a few clients in place. Let's really like try and grow the business. Um, and obviously that comes with its stresses and problems as well, right?
Mm.
So it's like I've got this massive problem here in the business, and then I've just got to like switch off now and focus on the kickboxing. It's very hard to
Yeah, yeah,
balance the two. And then outside of that, you've also got other things like family and relationships and all of that stuff, right? Whereas in
yeah,
it felt so much so simple. Like obviously it took a week or two to kind of get used to in terms of the whole routine itself and how I'm
yeah,
performing in the business, how I'm performing the kickboxing. But once that fell into place, it was just like I wake up and like I know what I need to do, right?
yeah,
And actually, I just enjoyed the process. Like
yeah. I could
I
tell you
loved,
were. Yeah,
yeah, I love training and I love sitting down at my desk to do work. It was like the best
yeah,
situation for me. And to be honest, like that's kind of what I want to do now going forwards because that went so well. That's kind of
yeah,
what I want to do going forwards. Whether it is a fight or whether it's something else like a High Rocks or
yeah.
an Ironman or
Marathon or
something, which
something.
is
Yeah,
other stuff that I want to do in the future, right?
yeah,
It's still the same situation where it's like, okay, like I know this routine, I have this system in place. It's work, and then it's this, and then there's no my work doesn't affect my kickboxing. My kickboxing doesn't affect my work. It's two separate things where I can be
yeah,
100%. Whereas in if I didn't have you, it would have been like 50% of my work's been impacted, which is then also affecting 50% of my kickboxing performance
yeah,
because it's just a mess. That they're not supporting each other because the sleep, the food that I'm eating, the exercises that I'm doing, everything around health, right? That's going to affect the business and that's going to affect the kickboxing. And if they weren't optimized, they both would have been a mess and they both would have fell down.
mm.
I would have lost money and I probably would have got knocked out. So like that's it. Yeah.
I'd feel bad taking credit for you winning the fight. I think you're a good fighter with or without me. But
Yeah.
like,
I
yeah,
think like preparation's key, right? I think preparation's key. Um, and in terms of obviously the fight situation, yeah, that's like down to me, right? But the overall preparation of everything really is what gets you the win.
yeah,
I mean, in anything in life, right?
I believe, yeah.
Preparation, I guess, is what gets you lucky. Um,
Mm,
and I think my preparation couldn't have been any better, really. You know, I
yeah.
made weight perfectly. There was no struggles. I was the fittest I've ever been in my life, and yeah, 100%.
Wow. Wow. And like for the people watching, me and Zach are quite similar. Like we love martial arts, we love training, and we also love
Yeah,
business. Like I'm the same, bro. Like work, training, I'll sit at my desk and I'll go train, and that's me happy.
yeah,
And genuinely, like for me, and I speak to a lot of people, like training for fights and growing business is like the hardest combination you could ever do. Like what's
yeah,
harder than that? Maybe raising
yeah,
kids, but we don't know what
yeah,
that's like. But like it's
yeah.
hard, man. Like training for a
It's
fight and scaling business, it you have to be dialed in. And for me, like I'd probably hire a health slash performance coach if I
yeah,
get into a fight, just because like you only have so much just you only have so much capacity, and like having someone like to do pretty much what I did for you to myself would
yeah,
be good. That way I can just do the
yeah,
things, you know what I mean? So yeah,
yeah, one
that
hundred
that
percent.
that's hard. Like training for a fight and growing a business. And also like you're 19. I'm young as well. I'm 25. Oh, you're 20 now.
Yeah,
But 19 is where
yeah,
you've got like peak energy. So you had like peak energy, you had a health and
yeah,
performance coach behind you. Like that's probably one of the most that's probably like a season of your life, like maybe the top few where you're like the most
yeah,
dialed in. Like your performance is
one hundred
absolutely
percent.
dialed in. 19 years old, dialing in
Yeah,
your health, growing a business, training for a fight. Like you'd be an absolute machine. Yeah,
yeah, 100%. And I think the good thing about that is like now that I've been through that, I can just basically replicate the patterns going forward, like replicate the
yeah,
same thing. And I'm sure like, you know, when I'm like 22, 23 and I sign up for an Ironman, I'll probably be like, yo, Ehab, what's happening? Let's do it.
yeah,
Let's do another 3 month lock in again, you know?
yeah, for sure.
That's it. Like just again having someone in your corner there because it just takes off the weight off your shoulders, right? I can just put my trust in
Yeah,
you
yeah,
and essentially let you handle all the things that I need to get done whilst I can focus on my other things and I just follow it, right? Which just makes things so much so much easier. Um so yeah.
yeah, 100%. Like yeah, because you only have so much mental bandwidth in a day. Even if you know what to do, it's just like
Yeah,
you just want to focus on what you need to do rather than what you should do and like course correct yourself.
100%.
So
Yeah, like I think
100%.
especially as like a business owner, it's important that you have like phases in your life, right? Like if I was to do all year, I'm in fight camp and I'm running the business, I'd probably die at like 30, right? Like it's a lot.
It's
Like
a lot, yeah.
it is a lot, like where it's like it's just nonstop. So I think it's important that when you go through those phases of like 3 months, okay, like I'm really trying to grow the business and I'm really trying to do this other pursuit, whether it's like whatever it is, right? If I'm on all this other stuff that you want to work
Mm,
towards, like some health slash fitness goal. It's so valuable to have like someone in your corner who's actually
yeah,
just personalizing everything for you. So
yeah,
yeah,
absolutely. Like
makes a big
most
difference
people
for
have
sure.
probably hired a one-to-one coach, but if they haven't, then they wouldn't really understand that. I mean, I feel
Yeah,
like most entrepreneurs kind of understand that you're just kind of outsourcing stress to a degree. But
yeah,
yeah. What
yeah.
would you
That's it.
say, like, before we worked together, or maybe even when you were watching my content, did you have any like concerns or doubts? Or also maybe like when you started, like any concerns or
About
like
working with you specifically.
yeah, about the program, about just getting everything dialed in.
No, to be fair, like, I remember the call that we had. Like it was, I'd no doubts at all. Like you broke everything down really well, and I was like, yeah, this is just something that I want, right? And that I obviously need as well going for the next few months. That was really it. Like that, there wasn't really any doubts or anything like that because again, just everything that you showed me in terms of like the personalization, that was what I was looking for.
Mm,
Um, like I was in the space of mind where I was like, okay, I think I'm gonna need some help. Who do I go to? And I was thinking about a few of my friends who are fitness coaches, right? And they're really good at what they do, don't get me wrong, but they have like 50 clients and
mm,
like I'm not really a priority to them. They just give me like something to work towards and I kind of do everything myself where I'm taking on that responsibility. Whereas in with you, I could just tell that you just help me a lot and take on that responsibility for me.
mm, yeah,
Um honestly, like to answer the question, that there wasn't really any doubts to be fair.
yeah,
Obviously, it was just like an investment that I wanted to make and that I was willing to make,
yeah,
um, and that's it. Like I think, obviously, especially when like you're at a relatively young age, it's so important to invest in the things that matter to you. So health should obviously be a priority. You
mm,
should invest in your health, whether it's like even just like obviously the gym and things like that, but also just invest in your health because it's the number one thing in life, right? Like it's the number
mm,
one thing. Same like with a business when you go to invest in a business mentor, which I've also done before. Like if that's a priority in your life, invest in something because it's gonna shorten the time period for when you learn things. Like instead of spending 3 years like trying to find the right routine, trying to find the right meal plan and things like that, just work with a professional. Same with a business. Like if you want to learn a new sales thing or like a new outreach thing or content thing, like just hire someone who's been there before. And I related to your story as well in terms of like how you kind of got into the health coaching. That was very
mm,
similar to me in terms of like my background and the degenerate life I used to fucking live.
mm,
So I could tell that you would have understood my situation as well.
mm,
I felt very similar in that way as well. So yeah, to answer the question,
yeah,
that there really wasn't that doubt. So it's just to obviously making that investment, right? Which was like, I'm willing to do that. Like
yeah,
it's, you, know, you
yeah. No,
just
that
got to
makes
prioritize.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think when we spoke on the DMs on Instagram, you already had that mindset. To be fair, it didn't take like I didn't have to persuade you. I just kind of even when we
Yeah.
had our call, like I just kind of explained to you like this is what we're gonna do. This is the onboarding and that kind of thing. You already were pre-sold. And I think there's already
Yeah.
a lot of entrepreneurs out there who are pre-sold, but I think there's also like a good amount that are obviously we'll keep this more so specific to people who are similar to yourself, but maybe don't have that mindset and understanding as to like how it actually
Mhm.
helps because a lot
Yeah.
of these entrepreneurs are already making some money or whatever and they're probably operating at like 75%. They get
Yeah.
energy crashes and brain fog here and there. Maybe they're inconsistent with their sleep, they miss the gym, that kind of thing,
Yeah.
and they don't see health the way you see it in terms of like the optimization. So
Yeah.
for these people, like what would you say to them, like these people who are kind of consistently like they're doing okay but they're operating at like 70%, like
Yeah.
what would you say to these people?
Well, I think like these people, like the main thing that if they were prioritizing their health, then they already would be, Like I think the main thing that they care about is a business, and I understand how
Mm,
easy it is to just get so locked in the business and nothing else matters. Like I completely understand that. But I think instead of seeing like health and business is two separate things. See it as like one thing, right? How like your business can help to contribute to your health and your health can contribute to your business, right? I think if you look at, you know, the entrepreneurs that you probably look up to, they all, I imagine, prioritize their health as well, right? Um,
Mm.
it's if you look at the person that you want to be, right? Like if you, this is something I do with my clients as well. Like if you look at the person that you want to be in 2 or 3 years, like what does that person look like? I imagine he's in really fucking good shape and he obviously has a really healthy body and healthy mind.
Mm.
But if you're not that person already, then like you're not going to become that person, if that makes sense.
Mm.
So if you look at that person in 3 years and he has this health, then just be that person now. And then in 3 years, that's how it's going to come. Whereas if you just keep putting it off, like, oh yeah, I want to be really healthy, and then like 2 years passes by and you're still in the same place, it's because you've not took the step to actually prioritize
Yeah.
things and things like that. So I think it's it's very hard. Like it's just a simple mindset shift in terms of priorities, right? Like
Mm.
what you prioritizing right now. If you're not prioritizing your health, then that's just not a good. It just doesn't make sense at all. Like
Mm.
outside of business, like you want to live this life as long as possible, right? You want to obviously when you have kids, be in really good shape so you could do things with them. Like there's all these different reasons for why you should want to prioritize your health. So I'd find it very difficult to convince the people that you should prioritize your health because like personally, I just don't see that.
Mm.
Um, but for the people that kind of like want to prioritize it, but just don't really know how to, it's kind of like just be that person already.
Yeah.
I imagine you want to be in good shape. Okay, in like maybe not in 3 years, like 6 months. Like in 6 months, I want to be in really good shape. I want to, have a great diet and things like that. Or I just want to feel better. So okay, just do that now then, right? That was the
Yeah.
same thing with me. Like just do that. Like why would I just put this off? Just do that now. And obviously in order to skip that learning curve you want to
Mm.
invest in yourself, so just do it then. Like
Mm.
it's the thing, like obviously same with me, like I wasn't, I'm not a millionaire, right? Obviously like investing in myself is something that's difficult to get over in your head, just like I've invested in myself with business mentors and things like that. It's just something that you're gonna have to do, right? To kind of take that step. Does that make sense? Like
Yeah. 100%.
yeah. Didn't want to go off on like a tangent there, but I think main point there is like just be that person already because I know a few entrepreneurs or a few people in this world who don't want to be in fucking good shape. They just don't
Mm.
prioritize it.
Yeah.
So like if you want to be in that shape, just be that person already, right? And the way to be that person is actually, taking a step forward and
Yeah.
prioritizing your health.
Yeah.
And then as
No.
a business owner, it's like, okay, where do I start? And then you go down this rabbit hole and like learning off Instagram and YouTube and doing all these different
Yeah. Yeah.
things and
Nice
not
bar
getting it,
supplements.
getting the outcome that you want. So it's like, okay, just yeah, just prioritize it and actually
Yeah.
take a step forward to actually invest in the thing that's probably the most important in your life, right?
Yeah.
Like people spend money on all sorts of things, but when it comes to health, it's like they won't. So it
Yeah.
doesn't make sense to
And
me
then they only
personally.
care once their health becomes fucked. They're like, oh shit, I need to fix my health.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
literally, it's like yeah, it's like the people who smoke and drink, and it's like, oh, it's fine now, and you know instead of like trying to prevent things, like they don't prevent them, they just only come up with a solution and have to take fucking
Yeah.
meds, right? Like if you're, I don't know, like if you're like smoking like, you know if you've been smoking for like 30 years, you're not worried about the consequences until they happen. It's like,
Mm.
oh, now I've got to do fucking chemotherapy for lung cancer or
Yeah.
something like that. It's like it's too late now, just prevent those things.
Yeah.
Like
I
that's
agree.
an extreme situation, but the same principle applies in terms of like prepare for the person that you want to be and also prevent the bad things that can happen
Mm.
by doing that, right?
Well
So
said.
yeah,
I agree, of course. I think what you said before. By the way, people watching, I'm drinking organic kombucha. There's no soft drink bullshit.
what is that? I've never
Kombucha. Do
even
you know
heard
what
that.
kombucha is? Kombucha.
No, no, no.
It's a kind of probiotic, like a
Ah,
natural
okay,
probiotic. Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Kind of
Nice,
like
nice.
having sauerkraut, kimchi, or kefir.
Oh,
So yeah,
nice. I've
they're
never heard of
nice.
that.
They're
Yeah,
quite nice, and they're yeah, it's like very low calorie, organic, good for your gut. But yeah,
good
just
stuff.
in case people thought I was drinking a fucking
Stuff. Yeah,
Sprite or
and
something. I'm like, no way.
if the
Not to
brand's
say you
watching,
can't.
and
Not to
if
say
the
you
brand didn't,
can't eat what you want sometimes, but yeah.
yeah,
But
yeah. What was you gonna say, man?
I was gonna say with what you were saying before, it's a lot of it is really like an identity shift, and you obviously already kind of had that before we even met, and I obviously had mine years
Yeah,
ago. What led you to yours? Was it sort of going out of that stage of degeneracy and that kind of thing, and like, did you watch a video that kind of made a flip in your head? Did you want to kind of be like someone, or what made you sort of adopt that healthy identity? Like, what made you become Zach, who like actually
yeah.
prioritizes their health?
I think it's like I don't know. I think the overlap between business and health is like crazy, right? Like if you want the way that you prioritize business, you should prioritize health. And I think the the thing is like which made me shift is like this is just who I want to be. A little bit like I said before, that I just want to be healthy, right? Same time, like with your business, whoever's watching this is probably like, oh, I want to grow my business. If you want to be healthy, then you apply those same things that you do to grow the business to improve your health. You do the same
Mm,
things, right? Obviously like different inputs, but the same effort, the same willingness to do whatever, right? And I think the main shift is like, yeah, that's just who I want to be, and
yeah.
yeah, that's the main thing. The identity shift is like, I want to be this person. I want to have this. So okay, let me do this, right?
Mm,
Um, and the main like to make the identity shift, I think it's less about realizing the goal of like, oh, I want to have this. It's more like, okay, if I don't have this, then I'm just gonna feel shit, right? It's like the consequences if you don't.
mm,
The consequences are really bad, obviously, because it's your health. Like
yeah.
with the business, like okay, I can just go start a new business or I can go get a job. Whereas, and if you fuck your health, like you're fucked, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of times there's no going back. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah,
Yeah, when we speak about this, it sounds obvious, but there's still a lot of people that don't agree with that, which is kind of crazy. Or maybe they agree logically, but then they're just like, ah, like bro, I was messaging
yeah,
someone yesterday who he's actually in sales, so he's like, yeah, he's sort of an entrepreneur. He's
yeah.
sales and entrepreneur. I don't know,
I class it,
but
yeah, very stressful. Yeah,
yeah, like pretty much. Like he was doing remote sales, but and building a brand. And he was like literally telling me he sleeps 4 hours a day over the past like week and a half. And he's like, mind over. I put it in my Telegram, but he's like, let me read it. Actually, it's kind of funny. He was
what was he
like,
saying? Oh, like I've just got to lock in and grind. Like, oh,
because he literally spoke about it on his story. I was like, bro, you okay? He's like, haha, yeah, I get about 4 solid hours of sleep a day. I said, why? He said, I'm hustling, bro. I feel good. I said, so you're happy to sleep 4 hours a night? And then I was like, is it by choice or you literally can't sleep? He's like, by choice, of course, G. I have complete control over my mind. It's like, okay, keep that up for
we'll
like
see.
another week. We'll
Yeah,
see
we'll
how
see how
strong your
long that
mind is.
fucking lasts for. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
bullshit.
so there's a lot of
Bullshit.
people
Because I've
that
been
still
there.
think
Like
that.
I know that. Like it's bullshit. It's bullshit.
We've had that, yeah. We've all kind of pushed our mindset, and then like, yeah,
Yeah,
at a certain point, you just completely crash. So
it's not
yeah,
sustainable.
yeah. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't really have any other questions. Why don't you plug a little bit of what you're doing? I'll chuck the link in the description.
Yeah. So, what in terms of business do you mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Or whatever you
Yeah.
want to speak
So
about. Go ahead.
yeah, I'll speak a little bit about business and just me as a person. So, in terms of like my story, I guess I kind of started getting into the online space when I was like 16, 17. And the thing that kind of encouraged me to first take that step is like I knew I didn't want to go to uni. I knew I didn't want to get a job, right? Because I'd worked a bunch of jobs. It just wasn't a life that I wanted to live. And I always felt like a bit of an outsider, right? Like all my friends in school did want to go down this path, or their parents wanted them to go down this path. Whereas in me, I was like, I didn't know what I wanted to do. And at that same time, that's when I started seeing the Andrew Tates, the Iman Gadzis, and all of this talking about fucking escaping the
Yeah.
metrics. And me, like the 16-year-old vulnerable kid who doesn't know what they want to do to their life, of course, that message appeals, right? So
Mm,
the first thing I ever did was like I bought Andrew Tate's Real World course, and that's when I got into it, right?
yeah.
And I started learning about online business, and it took me like 3 years to make my first ever like £1,000 online, right? And then I got a taste of like, okay, this is possible. But throughout those 3 years, I struggled so much. Like I was just lost, right? Because a little bit like with health, right? When there's this information overload, oh, like you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to do that, and I was doing all of these different things and never sticking to one, and I struggled so much. And then eventually, I got to a point where things started to work out, right? I was kind of like I started off with copywriting, and then I did a little bit of sales as well. I was like a freelancer essentially, and things started to work out. I started to make like decent money for myself, and I was like, finally, like I was like just turned 19. It's like finally things are starting to work out, but I didn't see any purpose in what I was doing, right? And I know that there's so many people out there in the world just like me who don't want to go to university. They don't want to get a job. So they start an online business. Like when things started to work out in terms of like money, I was earning decent money for my age, right? And I was obviously working remote. So I traveled to places like Mallorca, Marbella, things like that. But I just didn't have this sense of purpose, right? Like the clients that I was working with, I didn't like I wasn't helping people. Like I've always wanted to do something where I help people. And at the time I went to Marbella on like an entrepreneur's thing, right? Got invited because I was posting content. And that's where I met my business partner, Richard. And we was like, he went through a very similar journey to me. I come from a bit of like a sales, how to book calls background. He came from like a content marketing creative background, right? And we was like, okay, like let's just partner up and actually help people like ourselves, like the past version of myself, right? So like the story that I just described earlier in terms of the struggles that I went through, where it took me so long to make things work, to make things work out. I tried so many different things. It's like we just want. I wanted to help those people. So that's essentially what we started to do, right? Our business called Timeless, and yeah, that's what we do. Like the stuff that took me 3 years to learn in terms of like, okay, how to make an offer that's good enough so that people actually want to buy it, how to post the right content, how to, do outreach to actually, book calls, how to actually structure your sales calls and things like that. All those things that I learned that took me years to learn. It took my business partner years to learn. It was, okay, like let's build this out so that like the people that were in our situation could just follow one thing and do it in like 3 months, 4 months, right? So that they can live that life where they want to travel the world, help out their parents, whatever that is. So that's
Mm.
essentially what I'm doing. And we were working one on one with our clients. All of them got great results. We've helped people go from like $1,000 to $2,000 a month to like $10,000 to $12,000 a month. We've got an 18-year-old literally like just finished school who, he's doing like 5,000 a month, right? And he came to us like literally from zero. Um, and like seeing that impact, that like, okay, like I can actually help these people, right? And like this is actually working for them. That's kind of like where I got my buzz, right? Like I love working with my clients because they all remind me of the past version of myself. And yeah, now we're building a community with it. So we want to connect these people so eventually we can do retreats and things like that. But also like obviously entrepreneurship, especially from a young age, is kind of lonely, right? Because all your school friends are just doing their thing and you're kind of doing your own thing. So we want to connect those people. And again, just provide them with everything that they need. The systems obviously so that they can actually grow their business, but also just like the one-on-one support and things like that. That's essentially what we're doing right now. Timeless community. We've just built that out. I'm really looking forward to it, to be fair. I know there's so many people out there that have gone through the story that I went through in a similar kind of way where they've had these struggles. And now I just see it's my responsibility to help as many of those people as possible. So that's the mission for the next few months. Just help as many people as I can and make as many people aware of what we're doing. Because I feel like it's so easy at a young age to kind of like follow the big gurus and pay thousands of pounds for their course, where they just kind of chuck you inside of some video modules and leave you to it. I want to do things differently where it's like, okay, like this is a tight knit community of people that only I know I can genuinely help. Um, and they get as much support as they need, whether it's from me, my business partner, or other people in the community who are maybe at a more advanced level. And yeah, the specific type of person that we help are service providers, because that's what I used to do, like provide services to business, not coaches, not consultants. So email marketers, copywriters, video editors. So difficult for them because the there's more and more 16-year-olds becoming copywriters, becoming email marketers, following all these different kind of business models, right? Following the generic advice. And yeah, we just want to help them to actually stand out by being themselves.
Mm.
And yeah, building a business that is actually true to them and helping them not just in the business, but actually be like I said before, in terms of like becoming the person that they want to be, like actually figuring out what life they want to live, right? And not just building a business and following this so that it can escape the matrix and all of this kind of stuff, right? It's like, no, like who do you actually want to be? Like what life do you want to live? And then reverse engineering it from that in terms of like how they build the business and the way that they grow it. So yeah, that's a little bit about what I do and kind of like the story of how I got there. And then outside of that, outside of the business and what I'm building, like the business is the business and my fitness is like the only two things that I do really. I don't really go out too much. Like I love to travel. Like I've got a core group of like 9 or 10 mates who also run their own online businesses, and we travel like every few months and things like that. Um, which I love to do. But outside of that, yeah, just kickboxing, gym, and football. Like those are things that I love. I don't want to be a professional kickboxer. I don't want to be a professional footballer. I don't want to be a bodybuilder, but I just love doing those things. I love doing those kind of challenges. Um, yeah, that's really my life, to be fair. And yeah, I guess my goals for the next like few months, my mission, I guess, for the end of the year is obviously get to a really good level of income where I can help my parents out and kind of um, pay a lot of things off for them, and travel the world. I guess that's what those are kind of like my main two goals for what I'm doing. So yeah,
So as you guys can tell, Zach is a fucking legend and is going to be very wealthy and successful soon. Considering you're only 20 years
hopefully,
old, like you're
yeah,
you're ahead of most people at 20. When I was 20, bro, I was what was that? Like I was at my worst, to be honest. Like I think
yeah,
after I turned 21, oh no, as soon as I turned 20, that's when I started to turn my life around. But you've been dialed in
yeah,
for years, so yeah, fucking bright
yeah,
future ahead of you.
yeah. I'm
Healthy,
lucky, man,
dialed in,
because
like yeah,
yeah,
insane.
I went through that like degenerate phase like from a really young age when I was like 14. So I'm lucky that I went through that early, I guess.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly. Some people get into it when they're like 25, and you're like, bro, you should
yeah,
have
it's
done
not
that
that
like
good.
back then.
Yeah.
You're late to the party, man.
Yeah, yeah,
Good stuff. I'll drop your whatever link you want, whether it's your Instagram or whatever. I'll chuck that in the description. So yeah, if you guys want
sounds
to check
good.
out what Zach's building, check it out.
I'd
And
appreciate that. Well,
yeah, thank you very much, Zach, coming on.
bro, I want to say a massive thank you as well. It's not even for the case study, but just massive thank you to you as well. I mean, we've not spoken a few weeks, but definitely took some time to like look back on everything that we did together. It's been so impactful for me, like I said, in terms of longevity. And I'm sure there's going to be a time in the future where I'm doing something crazy like an Ironman or climbing the mountain or whatever it is, where I'm going to reach back out and be like, look, you have, yeah, I need to do this. So let's work together again. If I ever need any like coaching again or just support, you'd be the first person that I come to. So yeah,
Awesome,
I want to say a massive thank you to you, bro, because you've helped me
awesome,
out
bro.
a lot. So
My
yeah,
pleasure. My pleasure, bro. Look forward to another time if that time comes. And you've been a great client to work
definitely.
with. So more
Yeah,
success to you. All right,
thank you,
guys. Thank
man.
you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.